This will be a quick tutorial about a couple of things you can do with ChatGPT that will perhaps enhance your work working with groups. One of the steps if you're doing individual groups again and again through the semester is making sure you have the file name protocol the same every time just so it looks right, it's easier to keep up with. So maybe you want to have, say, week -2 colon group A, and then the same, week 2, group B, and so on. That's something that you can do in data entry with no problem, but I found that it's pretty easy to do this, and there's an import function, so if you put that in a certain, in a CSV code, you can basically upload all those, and that'll automatically put placeholders in for every group name. Now, you may not want to do this with 6 weeks as I'm doing. You might want to just start off with 1, but my goal is to make sure that all the file naming structure is uniform throughout. So I'm just going to show you the prompt that I use for that task, and I'll show you how it works. And I'm going to just paste that in here, and I'll have that in a document for you. And the goal here is that I have told ChatGPT I don't want to talk about it, I don't want it to tell me about it, I just want it to generate that. And then sometimes it will give you a link that you have to download in another document. I don't want that either. I just want it to be in the code box, the code frame that it uses itself, so that I can copy that en masse, paste it into a text document, because Word generates other stuff in there that you don't want to use, but you'll just put this in Notepad or whatever your text document is, and then you'll be able to upload it. I'll show you those steps right now. So there it is. It did it, and it didn't talk about it a lot. That's great. So I've copied that, and now I'll paste it in a text document. Okay, and clearly I'm using Notepad, and I'll probably save this so I have it later. Okay, now really simple. I'll go to the groups. So I go into users, and then from there I go into groups, and then this will give me the different layouts I show in another tutorial. But if I scroll to the bottom of this, you'll see it has an import groups feature, and that's all it's asking for is that text document. And when this happens, if it doesn't work, it will give you an error right here. In this case, I assume it's going to work, and then I'll see certainly those have been imported, and it does have the exact breakout of the naming structure that I wanted. And by the way, if you choose to do this in advance, deleting them is really easy later, just so you know you can do that. At this point in time, they're all in there, so let's take a look at that. And there they are. Now, to populate these, of course, all one needs to do is come over here and hit Add Remove Users, and the users will all show up there. And as you select those, we can add those to Group A. And that's pretty easy, and like I said, it takes a step out so you don't have to go through and name the groups yourself. And like I said, the file naming structure is correct this way as well, so it may be worth your time. Okay, now what I'm going to do is put in a prompt to just get a mix of students for my groups, and I'm making sure that there's a lot of gender diversity in there. For myself, I find sometimes in my classes, if the group is all girls or all guys, it skews them a little bit. Now with that, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with the following week. But what I want to make sure is that there are as few repeat partners in the same group as possible, so they're mixed up more evenly. Otherwise, just randomly, they might in the same group with the same person, very regularly. So what I'm going to do is put in that prompt. So now we're going to reshuffle those groups with as few repeat co-members as possible. Okay, so that has that taken care of. Now, here's the problem. The problem is, moving forward, if you wanted to do this consistently, there's a good chance, especially in some of these more peripheral courses like ACA, that you get a lot of drops those first couple of weeks. So it becomes very difficult for the AI to sort of keep up with how to do that while some students are not there. So there comes a point where you just have to go random again, and then once you get down to the set number of students you can have, you'll still be able to continue this process and try to mix it up as much as you can. And like I said, for me, I thought this was really a good fit.